48 Hours has an exclusive interview with a crime scene investigator who was shot in broad daylight and left for dead in a Minneapolis parking lot.
Where's the victim? Who's shot?
Emily did her best to help Nikki until first responders arrived.
She was scared, really scared.
Whoever did that knows she was coming to pick up her kid.
I just looked her in the eyes and I said, Nikki, we've got this. We got this. Just stay with me.
Okay, so we've got EMS coming right now.
Emily told police what she thought had happened.
It maybe looked like a robbery or something.
It was a female shooter.
You do work for the police department. Did you think it might have something to do with work?
You know, I know a lot of people asked me that. I knew that this could happen, but I didn't want to believe it would.
Nicole's story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of manipulation in relationships. Tim's ability to exploit Nicole's love and trust highlights the devastating impact that manipulation can have on its victims. But it also serves as a reminder that no matter how skilled a manipulator may be, there are always consequences for their actions. As for Nicole, she is left grappling with the aftermath of Tim's manipulation, trying to rebuild her life in the wake of betrayal and deceit. But her story also serves as a testament to her resilience and strength. Despite the challenges she has faced, Nicole remains determined to overcome the trauma of her past and move forward with her life. Despite the turmoil in her personal life, Nicole remained dedicated to her career in law enforcement. She continued to excel in her role as an investigator, earning the respect of her colleagues and superiors. But behind closed doors, she was living a nightmare, tormented by the man who had once promised her love and protection. As the years passed, Nicole's relationship with Tim only grew more toxic. His manipulation tactics became increasingly insidious, and Nicole found herself isolated from friends and family, cut off from the support system that could have helped her break free from his grip. Tim's control over her life was complete, his charm masking a sinister intent that left Nicole feeling trapped and alone. The turning point came when Timothy convinced Nicole to commit a crime on his behalf, exploiting her loyalty and love. It was a moment that shattered the illusions Nicole had clung to, exposing the depths of Tim's deceit and the extent of her entrapment. The realization was both devastating and liberating. She saw, for the first time, the true nature of the man she had been with, and the role she had unwittingly played in his schemes. Caught in a web of deceit and betrayal, Nicole realized that she had been a pawn in Tim's twisted game all along. This awakening was painful, but it marked the beginning of her journey to reclaim her life. Determined to break free from his influence, Nicole began to seek help, reaching out to those she had been isolated from for so long. With the support of friends and family, she found the courage to confront Tim and end their relationship. However, even as the truth came to light and Timothy's manipulation was exposed, Nicole's journey was far from over. She faced the daunting task of rebuilding her life from the ground up, reclaiming her independence and finding the strength to move forward without the man who had held her captive for so long. This process was arduous, filled with moments of self-doubt and fear. But Nicole's resilience and determination saw her through. Nicole's story is a stark reminder of the dangers of manipulation in relationships. It serves as a cautionary tale for anyone who finds themselves entangled with a manipulative partner, urging them to recognize the signs of abuse and seek help before it's too late. Her experience underscores the importance of maintaining connections with loved ones and being vigilant against the subtle encroachments of control and coercion. As Nicole gradually rebuilt her life, she discovered new strengths within herself and forged a path towards healing and empowerment. She became an advocate for others in similar situations, using her story to raise awareness about the insidious nature of emotional abuse and manipulation. Through her advocacy, Nicole found a renewed sense of purpose, helping others recognize their worth and encouraging them to break free from toxic relationships. Nicole's journey is a testament to the power of resilience and the human spirit's capacity to overcome even the most harrowing of circumstances. It highlights the importance of support systems and the critical need for awareness and education about emotional abuse. Her story continues to inspire and resonate, offering hope to those who are still trapped in the shadows of manipulation, reminding them that escape and healing are possible. As for Timothy, His reign of manipulation may have come to an end, but the scars he left behind will take much longer to heal. His victims, like Nicole, are left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives and rebuild in the aftermath of his deceit. The damage he caused is not just surface deep. It has infiltrated every aspect of their lives, leaving them struggling to find a sense of normalcy and trust again. The final tragedy unfolded on May 15, 2024, a day that will forever be etched in their memories. Nicole was at work, handling her daily responsibilities with the diligence and focus she always exhibited. Meanwhile, Donovan was on a night shift, working hard to provide for their future. Callahan was supposed to be at home with Colin, who had taken the day off to spend some quality time together. However, Timothy had other plans, ones that were far more sinister than anyone could have anticipated. For years, Timothy had been planting seeds of doubt and fear in Colin's mind, meticulously manipulating her into believing that Nicole and Donovan were a threat to Callahan's safety. He exploited Colin's vulnerabilities and fears, twisting reality to suit his own nefarious purposes. His manipulation was so insidious that it slowly eroded Colin's ability to distinguish between truth and deception. On that fateful night, Timothy convinced Colin to take drastic action. He preyed on her protective instincts, convincing her that they needed to save Callahan from his own mother and her allegedly abusive boyfriend. With Timothy's malevolent guidance, Colin set out to stage a fake kidnapping, meticulously planning every detail to make it appear as though Nicole and Donovan had taken Callahan against his will. It was a carefully orchestrated plan, designed to paint Nicole and Donovan as criminals and to justify Timothy's relentless campaign against them. The events that followed were nothing short of a nightmare. Colin, under Timothy's influence, went to extreme lengths to execute the plan. She left behind a trail of fabricated evidence, all pointing to Nicole and Donovan as the perpetrators of a heinous crime. The authorities were called, and a frantic search for Callahan ensued. Nicole and Donovan found themselves at the center of a storm of accusations and suspicion, their reputations tarnished by Timothy's deceit. Timothy's actions left a permanent mark, a reminder of the destructive power of manipulation and the importance of vigilance in protecting oneself and loved ones from such insidious influences. But what Timothy didn't count on was the power of surveillance cameras. As Colin and Timothy executed their plan, they were caught on camera at multiple locations, their every move recorded for all to see. And when the truth came out, it was clear that Timothy's manipulation had finally backfired. Nicole and Donovan were exonerated, and Timothy's reign of terror was brought to an end. Nicole's life had been turned upside down, her career in law enforcement tarnished by false accusations and baseless allegations. She had worked tirelessly to uphold justice, and now she found herself on the other side of the law, fighting to clear her name. The professional and personal devastation she faced was immense, and it would take years to rebuild her reputation and regain the trust of her colleagues and the community. Callahan had been caught in the crossfire, his innocence shattered by the actions of those who claimed to love him. The psychological impact on him was profound, as he struggled to understand why his world had been turned upside down. The very people who were supposed to protect and nurture him had become sources of fear and confusion. The sense of security he had once known was replaced by a lingering uncertainty, making it difficult for him to trust others. As for Timothy, justice finally caught up with him. He was arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit kidnapping, manipulation, and child endangerment.
Well, the man convicted of trying to arrange the murder of his son's mother will spend more than a decade in prison. A jury found Timothy Amacher guilty of 2 crimes related to the shooting of a 33-year-old MPD forensic scientist. She survived and spoke in court today. WCCO's Jonah Kaplan was there.
You are hereby committed to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections for a total of 216 months. At least 2/3 of that sentence shall be served in prison.
18 years, the maximum penalty sought and granted by a Hennepin County judge on Monday to Timothy Amacher, who was convicted of aiding and abetting an attempted murder. The victim, 33-year-old Nicole Ford, an MPD forensic scientist and mother of their 5-year-old son. According to investigators, Amacher's girlfriend drove his car to a daycare center where Ford was picking up their son. Court documents describe that girlfriend then shooting Ford, once in the arm and again in the neck. Shell casings were later recovered at Amacher's home that matched the caliber of the weapon used in the shooting.
I fear for anyone who stands in his way, as he has the unlimited capacity to cause chaos and destruction to those he deems as adversaries. I ask that the court protect not only me, my son, and my family, but all of the others that could suffer from his past and future fury.
Amacher on Monday expressing outrage at what he called a smear campaign and a trial of smoke and mirrors, charges the judge swiftly rejected.
If we make him look like a bad guy, he must be a bad guy.
I will note for the record that you have not taken any accountability for your actions. You've shown no remorse.
Jonah Kaplan, WCCO4 News.
Colleen Larson faces first-degree murder charges. She's going to be on court on Friday for a pretrial hearing.
The legal system that he had manipulated and evaded for so long now held him accountable for his actions. As he sat behind bars, he was forced to confront the consequences of his schemes, to reckon with the pain and suffering he had caused. His manipulative tactics and deceitful nature were laid bare for the world to see, and he could no longer hide behind a facade of innocence. Even as he faced his day in court, the scars of his manipulation continued to haunt those he had preyed upon.
A Hennepin County judge handing down a max sentence to a man convicted of trying to kill the mother of their child over a custody dispute. Tim Amacher sentenced to 18 years in prison. The victim, a Minneapolis Police Department forensic scientist who survived the attempt on her life.
And today, Nicole Ford had the last word in court. Here's Fox 9's Paul Bloom.
Nicole Ford left the courthouse here holding her new husband's hand. Her ex, Tim Amacher, meanwhile, now on his way to prison, sentenced to 18 years for trying to have her killed.
Every morning, I wake up and I am reminded by the visible scars on my body that mark the many violent and terrifying experiences which led me to fighting for my life this last April.
In court, Ford, a forensic scientist in the Minneapolis Police Department's crime lab, spoke about her trauma and surviving not just a shooting, but what amounted to a decade's worth of terror at the hands of Amacher.
He took my stability, my sense of security, confidence, ability to trust, my voice, my truth.
Ford declined to allow our cameras to record her visually, but wanted her words shared well beyond the gallery. Consider at one point doctors did not know if she would ever talk again. Ford and Amacher share a young child, a breakup, and bitter custody dispute at the heart of the murder plot. A year ago, April, Amacher conspiring with then-girlfriend Colleen Larson to attack Ford outside a supervised parenting center on University Avenue. The shooting captured on surveillance video. According to court filings, Larson has admitted to pulling the trigger, but blames Amacher for being the driving force behind the scheme. Amacher insisted again Monday he was not involved before the judge handed down the maximum allowed under state guideline sentencing for aiding and abetting attempted first-degree murder.
Over 100 witnesses listed, and not one person could say that they saw me do anything. Me and Mr. Reed still to this day question why I'm still sitting here.
Tim is not the judge, jury, or executioner, and I hope that he gets the justice that he deserves, serving the maximum sentence allowed for his cowardice actions.
With Amacher sentenced to 18 years, that means he must do at least 12 in prison, meaning the child that he shares with the victim in this case will not be an adult until his father gets out. Meantime, the alleged shooter, Colleen Larson, she is due back here in a courtroom on Friday. She must now decide whether she too wants to head to trial. Reporting from the Government Center, Paul Bloom.
Nicole and Donovan struggled to rebuild their lives, to regain the trust and confidence that had been shattered by Timothy's deceit. Their relationship, once a source of strength and stability, was now fraught with tension and doubt. They had to work through the trauma inflicted upon them, seeking therapy and support to heal from the emotional wounds. Callahan, innocent and unaware of the chaos swirling around him, faced an uncertain future. His childhood had been stolen from him by the machinations of a man he had once called father. The psychological scars would take years to heal, and he would need continuous support and guidance to navigate the complexities of his emotions and experiences. The betrayal he experienced at such a young age left a lasting impact, shaping his perceptions and interactions with the world. The story of Nicole Lenway is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of manipulation and deceit. It serves as a stark warning to anyone who finds themselves ensnared in the web of a skilled manipulator, urging them to trust their instincts, to seek help, and to break free before it's too late. Her ordeal highlights the importance of awareness and vigilance and the need for support systems to protect and empower victims of manipulation. Investigators immediately launched a manhunt for the assailant, scouring surveillance footage from nearby cameras and interviewing witnesses. But despite their efforts, the identity of the attacker remained a mystery. The community was on edge, fearful of the unknown threat lurking among them. Law enforcement officials intensified their efforts, utilizing every available resource to bring the perpetrator to justice. The case became a high priority, drawing attention from the media and the public, who were eager for answers and closure.
48 Hours has an exclusive interview with a crime scene investigator who was shot in broad daylight and left for dead in a Minneapolis parking lot.
Nicole Lenway was on her way to pick up her child when she was gunned down. Erin joins us now in Studio 57 to talk more about this case. Erin, I saw it this morning on CBS Mornings, and I watched it again just now. There's incredible surveillance footage of the shooting, which is mind-blowing, and it was very significant in the investigation.
Oh, it was crucial. But we're seeing that more and more often now. It makes me wonder why anybody thinks that he or she could get away with a crime now, because there's video everywhere. What you're seeing cell phone footage, you're seeing surveillance video, you're seeing body cam video, and it tells most of the story. You can, as you saw the assailant, you see the assailant go, you see the assailant get in a car. What the video doesn't tell you and doesn't show you is the license tag of the vehicle or the gender. And as you saw, witnesses had different view, whether it was a male or a female.
He's having a hard time breathing.
Where's the victim? Who's shot?
Emily did her best to help Nikki until first responders arrived.
She was scared, really scared.
Whoever did that knows she was coming to pick up a kid.
I just looked her in the eyes and I said, Nikki, we've got this. We got this. Just stay with me.
Okay, so we've got EMS coming right now.
Emily told police what she thought had happened.
It maybe looked like a robbery or something. There was so fast.
Could you tell the gender? Was it male or female?
So I thought it was male.
Taken to the hospital, Nikki lost consciousness, but she recovered and gave police this description.
I was very sure it was a female shooter.
You do work for the police department. Did you think it might have something to do with work?
I know a lot of people asked me that. I knew that this could happen, but I didn't want to believe it would.
In the midst of this turmoil, Nicole, Donovan, and Callahan continued to piece their lives back together, finding strength in their resilience and determination. Their journey was fraught with challenges, but they remained united in their quest for healing and justice. Their story is a testament to the enduring human spirit, the power of love and support, and the unwavering pursuit of truth in the face of adversity. In the weeks that followed, Nicole underwent multiple surgeries to repair the damage caused by the gunshot wounds. She faced a long and grueling road to recovery, both physically and emotionally. The trauma of the attack weighed heavily on her, leaving her fearful and paranoid, constantly looking over her shoulder, wondering if her attacker would strike again. But despite the darkness that had engulfed her life, Nicole refused to let fear control her. With the support of her loved ones and colleagues, she found the strength to press on, determined to seek justice for herself and her son. As the investigation into the shooting continued, new leads began to emerge. Witnesses came forward with information about a suspicious vehicle seen in the area around the time of the attack. Detectives traced the vehicle back to Timothy, who had recently purchased a black pickup truck matching the description provided by witnesses. Further evidence linking Timothy to the shooting began to surface, including cell phone records placing him near the scene of the crime at the time of the attack. And when confronted with this evidence, Timothy's alibi quickly fell apart, revealing glaring inconsistencies and contradictions in his story. Faced with overwhelming evidence against him, Timothy was arrested and charged with attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and numerous other offenses. And as the details of his crimes were laid bare in court, the full extent of his manipulation and deceit became clear. But despite the pain and suffering he had caused, Nicole refused to succumb to bitterness or hatred. Instead, she focused on rebuilding her life and protecting her son from further harm. And as she looked towards the future, she found solace in the knowledge that justice had finally been served and that she could finally move forward with her life, free from the shadow of fear that had plagued her for so long. So, where does that leave us? With more questions than answers, that's for sure. But one thing's for certain, this case is far from closed. Stay tuned as we uncover the shocking truth behind this brazen attempt on one woman's life. Don't touch that dial. You won't want to miss a minute of this wild ride. Nicole Lenway's life took a horrifying turn when she became entangled in a relationship with Timothy Amacher, a man who expertly wielded manipulation as a tool of control. Initially, their relationship seemed promising, with Timothy displaying charm and affection. However, as time passed, his true nature emerged, marked by infidelity, aggression, and an insatiable desire for control. Despite enduring emotional and physical abuse, Nicole struggled to break free from Timothy's grip. She faced threats, blackmail, and relentless harassment when she attempted to distance herself from him. Through it all, she remained determined to protect herself and her son, Callahan, from further harm. Nicole's ordeal reached a terrifying climax when she was shot outside a family center while picking up her son. Miraculously, she survived the attack, but it left her grappling with the trauma of the incident and the fear of further violence. With Timothy as the prime suspect, the investigation intensified, uncovering a web of manipulation and deceit. As law enforcement delved deeper into the case, they discovered that Timothy had manipulated a young woman named Colleen into carrying out the attack. Colleen, blinded by her devotion to Timothy, became unwittingly complicit in his sinister plot. Their arrest and subsequent conviction brought a sense of closure to Nicole, knowing that justice had been served. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, press the subscribe button, and also drop your thoughts in the comments section.